Hi y'all, welcome back to the garden. So today's going to be a short video and we're going to be talking about how to treat for roses in the spring in wet, humid environments like here in Ohio. So our environment in the spring is really rainy. There's a lot of wet going on, and then last year I had a lot of black spot on my roses. Now I was treating them last year here and there, not as consistently as I needed to, and so I did a video at the end of October last year that's a little more sciencey and a lot more detail that I'm going to be providing today about fungicides. But today we're going to be spraying a curative fungicide that will help kill off any remaining spores that might be on the ground around the roses. Earlier this week, I spent some time and come through and cut back all of my roses. I did not record that. I have other videos on my channel talking about best practices for pruning roses. I'll talk about it a little bit some, but our winter was so bad that a lot of the roses got cut down to just maybe a couple 2 to 4 inches tall, which is unfortunate, but that's what we're dealing with here. There are buds on all of them. I didn't see any that looked completely dead, but even the climbing rose that's against the brick here at the top at the house died to the ground. And last year it had several stems that were at least, kind of shoulder height for me. So let's take a look at those first, and then we'll talk about the fungicides I'm going to be using. So we'll start with a small rose. This is Queen of Sweden. It was planted last year. It is an own root rose from 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 Queen of Sweden is great because it stays really narrow in its footprint and very upright and holds the blooms upright really well. But you can see this is a small rose. When you're looking at pruning roses, you want to prune out anything that's dead, diseased, damaged, and crossing. So the D's and C's of trimming. And mostly what I was focusing on was removing dead. So the stems that were black, I cut them back until they were green again. You can see a little bit of new buds coming out on the roses now here. See that right there? This growth here will grow out instead of in. You want to encourage airflow to prevent disease in your pruning practices. So if you're trimming, you want a stem, point it where the latest bud is going out. So most of my roses are about this tall. This is still a young rose, and so the stems themselves are pretty thin, but you'd also want to cut out anything that's super thin if you have a more established rose, just to open up the airflow. So similarly here we have the Poet's Wife from 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 as well. It's a David Alston variety. Got some of my leftover beneficial insect packets from last year around here. But you can see I've kind of pruned this one where all the branches are facing outward. There's none sticking through the stem or sticking through the center and crossing so bad. There is one here that could potentially be taken out if it was that much of a concern, but it's not right now. So this one did really well last year and made it through winter quite good, but this year it just did not do so well through winter like the other roses. But as you can see, this being a more established rose, I left the canes that are much bigger. So those roses would have been left much taller if they had not died back so far. So mine are really short, like I mentioned, because the stems were dead, and so they would not have produced buds this year and needed to be cleaned off to make the rose healthier. Now let's talk about fungicides and what I'm going to be spraying today. So fungicides come in 2 categories really. Inorganic, like this one right here that I have in this container. I just have fungicide on the side. And then organic, which is like a copper fungicide. That's why this one is blue. So the problem is, and it's kind of unfortunate, is organic fungicides are not curative. They can suppress black spot on roses. They can assist in preventing black spot on roses. But if you have black spot on your rose already or black spot spores, it is not going to kill those. It will only prevent or suppress. Inorganic fungicides are the only thing that works as a curative. I've done extensive research. There are some things out there that might have some evidence that they are organic and may be somewhat curative, but there's not great evidence that there's anything on the market that works really well. So you really need to use a curative fungicide that is inorganic to kill a fungus on your plant. So this is not necessarily Specific to roses, this is for any plant, so big leaf hydrangeas can have funguses as well. Other plants can get downy mildew or powdery mildew. All of those things need a curative inorganic fungicide. Now, the fungicide that you're using is not super important as long as it's listed to treat the thing you're trying to prevent or cure. So I'm treating roses today. I'm trying to prevent black spot and cure black spot. So today I'm using an inorganic fungicide that is listed to treat those black spot of roses. The other thing about fungicides is they're not something where you want to go to the market and pick one version up, bring it home, and spray your roses all season with it. Funguses, like a lot of other things, can develop resistance to fungicides, so it's best to have 2 or 3 and that you rotate throughout the season. So today I'm going to be spraying with a variety of fungicide, and then I'm going to switch after this to my preventative copper fungicide, which I will continue to spray copper fungicide as a preventative as the season progresses until I see black spot again on the plant. When I see black spot again on the plant, I will switch back to my curative that I'm spraying today, and then the next time I will spray it with a different variety of fungicide that has a different active ingredient. So if you go to the big box store or your local garden center and pick up a fungicide, check the active ingredient, because there might be multiple on the shelf for multiple brands. Just because it's from one brand versus another brand does not mean that they're not using the same active. You want to switch actives to treat black spot. So you'll pick a different active that also treats black spot. So copper fungicide is one of the easiest organic preventatives. So this is what I would be spraying after I spray my inorganic fungicide today. Also, every fungicide you purchase, even organic and inorganic, have different days between when the recommended spraying times are. So some of them are 7 days, some of them can go up to 15, 16 days. Typically, it's between 1 and 2 weeks is how long a organic or inorganic fungicide will last. So this is something you're going to have to be spraying pretty regularly, especially if you're in a hot and humid climate. So today I'm going to be spraying with the curative to go ahead and try and knock out any black spot spores that may have been left over from last year. And then in a couple weeks, based on when this curative says it needs to be treated again, I'm going to just switch to the organic copper fungicide, and then I will follow the instructions on the copper fungicide until I need to use a curative again in my garden. So not all plants and roses are going to be the same. I'm only going to use a curative for the rest of the season on roses that actually have black spot. So if I can prevent them from getting black spot with a copper fungicide, that's good for me because it's organic. But once they go to that black spot stage, you really need to switch to something that is inorganic, that's going to cure the fungus and get rid of it, or it's just going to be suppressed by an organic fungicide, so it won't necessarily spread so much, but it could continue to get worse potentially if you're not staying on the regular preventative sprays, which are suppressing the spread. So here we have the Queen of Sweden rose. Now I like to recommend these for the average homeowner, these ZEP sprayers that are for cleaning chemicals, because they work pretty well. They do not spray upside down well. I have an adapter in here that has a little ball on the bottom that makes the straw flexible, and so I can even spray upside down with it. These, you really need a sprayer that will spray upside down for fungicides. Maybe not in the spring, but as soon as these roses start putting on leaves and you're spraying preventative, you need to coat both the top side of the leaf and the underside well, or according to the instructions, to adequately prevent and protect the plant. So today it's going to be easy because we're just spraying stems and the little buds that have come out, but you really want to soak the plant well with the curative or the preventative. So I have a really small job here today, but I'm going to spray a little bit around the rose as well, just in case there's any black spot in the ground or in the mulch from last year. And the instructions for this fungicide indicate to kind of spray until there's a little bit of runoff, so that's what I've done here. And that is it. Really the hardest part about spraying fungicides is the actual spraying part, because if you have a lot of roses like I do, staying on top of it every 1 to 2 weeks during the very rainy season of spring, when it could be washed off from a lot of rain, or in the summer when it's really humid and you're just battling those high fungus pressure conditions, that's the toughest spot. So what I recommend also is to keep one of these small bottles, even if you have a lot of roses in your garden. These are inexpensive and they're quick to mix up, and so I always have them on hand. You can of course buy the ready-to-use sprays at your garden center or big box store, but those just aren't usually the most cost-effective method. I always buy the concentrates and mix them myself, and that works well for me, but nothing wrong with the ready-to-use or the RTU sprays out there. And that's it. I'm going to go through and spray the rest of my plants or my roses today. What I should also say is this is something you would want to do in the evening, because some fungicides, just like a lot of other chemicals, if you spray them on plants, inorganic or organic, especially something that may contain a dormant oil spray, in the sun can really damage a plant. So you want to do it in the evening, let it settle in overnight so it'll be ready to go the next morning. Now I've got these small ready-to-use sprays, but I'm going to be breaking out my big sprayer that is battery powered and going around and spraying the rest of my roses this evening. So these same methods apply to all other plants in your garden. So as I mentioned, big leaf hydrangeas can sometimes have issues getting some spots on their leaves as well. What you want to do is diagnose what the fungus is using some online research if you don't know. And then, as I mentioned, pick the fungicide that is used or listed to treat the disease you have on your plant. If you don't know what the fungus is, find a Facebook group. Contact your local university extension office and see if they can help you identify it. I would not advise spraying something on a plant to prevent or cure a fungus if you don't know what it is, because you may be doing more harm than good. But that's about it. Thank y'all for joining me today, and remember, be a light. Take care. Bye.